Hey everybody, welcome to the Creativity Cave. I'm Dina Rico and I have a really fun project for you today that I love and I hope you're going to love it as well. So this is a really pretty card that I created featuring the Love of Leaves bundle. It's actually a stamp set and coordinating dies that are stitched. They're so pretty. There's lots of fun things happening with these, and I'm going to show you a couple of really fun tips and tricks in this card. So I have combined this set of stamps and dies with the stunningly gorgeous Blackberry Beauty DSP. This package of papers is just so gorgeous and they have gold accents on them and they're so gorgeous. So I started by die cutting one of the leaves with this beautiful paper and it's just so pretty. So to put my card together, I'm going to use, there is some cinnamon cider featured in this DSP. So I'm going to put that to good use by creating a card base out of cinnamon cider. Give this a good crease with my bone folder. And then I embossed a panel that is 3.5 by 4 inches with the bark embossing folder. This is one of those cool 3D texture folders. And we will take and adhere that panel to the top of our card. Then I've got a 3/4 by 4 inch panel of DSP from that same package of paper. And we'll put that right there. And then I've got one more strip and this one will go here and we'll stamp our sentiment on it. And one of the things I love about this stamp set is it does contain several very nice sentiments. So we'll use those in our card. So I'll start by stamping this and then we'll start adhering some of those layers. And you know we're going to stamp the inside too. So I've got kind of a cool thing for the inside as well. All right, so I'm so glad you're in my life is going to go on that little strip. Cinnamon Cider ink on the Cinnamon Cider cardstock. Of course, one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is that everything coordinates so nicely. So that is a great benefit of Stampin' Up! Products is the coordination of all the colors in the ink, the paper, the accessories, all things. So I love that. All right, I'm going to take and adhere this piece. Now, because I've embossed it, I'm actually going to put my adhesive down on the card itself versus on the layer. That way I don't smoosh any of the texture that's in the embossing I just did. And then finally, I'll put my piece of DSP down like that. So I love this layout as well. It's just kind of a little bit different and fun for my card. Okay, then that leaf that I die cut ahead of time is really cool. You can see there's little stitched leaf veins in the die, which is part of the die, and we're going to show that off again here in just a moment on the inside of our card. So I'll take this and pop this up with some dimensionals. So I'll just take a few of these and put them on my leaf, and I want them to stand up really nicely. So I'm going to use several and one more. And one of the things I love about making cards is kind of doing that little extra something. So we've got our leaf on here, which is very pretty, but this card is kind of plain. When we dress it up, though, it becomes an awesome, awesome card. So I'm going to use some of my gilded gems and add some gold accents to kind of pull from that paper. So I've got a sheet that's almost empty here. I'm going to pull the last couple of these gems off and place them on here up at the top like so. I love using my Take Your Pick tool. There's a little tacky stuff that comes out. So I just give it a little squeeze, then loosen it so it doesn't keep coming out. And then I will just pick this up. These ones really like to stick on this sheet, which is good because then they'll stick to your card really nicely. So sometimes I use the other end for that as well. That's why I love my Take Your Pick tool because it's just so versatile. Okay, so I've got those on there as well. I'm going to also pull in some linen thread and just tie a little bow to add to my leaf as well. Another option would be to use some gold and silver trim. We've got that. It's actually called the Elegant Trim Combo Pack. That would work nicely for this as well. But I thought I would tone it down a little bit so that we didn't have gold like everywhere. All right, so I just am tying a little bow. We'll make those loops a little smaller and place this down on our leaf, and then I can also trim those ends just a little bit. Okay. So I've got that on there, and let me snip these snip these little edges a little bit more. Tails, that's the word I was looking for. Edges, what am I talking about? Okay, so there we go. There's that. But we're going to take this the extra mile one step further, and I've got a rich razzleberry Stampin' Write marker. You do not want to do this with your Stampin' Blends, but rather your Stampin' Write markers. And I'm going to do some spritzing. This is my favorite technique. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm sure you've seen me do this before. But I'm simply going to put the cap or the tip of the marker into the cap of my marker, and then I'm going to flick. So listen for that. Okay, and then you can see when you do that, you get spritzing that happens. So I'm going to do this one more time on here. And that looks so cool. It adds a nice touch. Now you can also do spritzing with a clear Wink of Stella, which is kind of one of my favorite things to do as well. So you just need something to smack it against. So I'm going to take my bone folder and then my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to smack this against here. And I will also get little spritzes of shimmer. Okay. And when you do that, look at the effect. Do you see all of that shimmer on my cardstock? You get kind of little droplets and bigger droplets depending. And you never know exactly what you're going to get, which is part of the fun, but it adds just such a cool touch, I think. Okay, but we're not done with this card. The outside looks fabulous. Now it's time to dress up the inside. And there is a stamp that coordinates with the die cut that I used. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm actually going to grab a scrap of paper so that I can stamp off the first layer of ink. So I'm going to do that on here and stamp this slightly lighter image on my cardstock. So that looks great. And then I'll stamp this once more over here, and then maybe one final time over here, just to kind of fill in this bottom area. I'll also take one of the sentiments, one of the other sentiments from my stamp set, and stamp that full strength over here, like so. And then finally, I'm going to take this and I'm going to add those pierced veins. So what's kind of cool about this stamp set is you have two pieces. You can cut out just a plain leaf, or you can cut out a leaf with the stitching, or you can use the stitching all by itself. So to do that, I'm just going to line it up on my cardstock here. I'm going to take a little piece of Post-it to kind of just hold it in place, and then I'm going to run it through my machine. I'll do that and be right back. So when I do this, it doesn't cut the whole leaf out. It just adds those piercing lines. Isn't that cool? So I think this adds a really nice touch to your card as well. Now we're going to kick that up one more notch as well with some spritzing on here. I want to go a little lighter. I'm not going to smack that quite as hard. So I just get a little bit lighter look, but there's some more spritzing, and it's time to add this to the inside of my card. So we'll grab some seal and just go ahead and adhere this in. And what a gorgeous project. Oh, I just love this so much. So I hope you loved this tutorial. If you would like to purchase any of the supplies to make this project, please shop my online store. I've got everything linked below in the description of this video. I also have a link to my blog so that you can see more photos of this project, as well as all of the dimensions and everything. There, it's all listed here for you if you would like to create this at home. So I hope you love this. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would rock, as well as subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. You won't miss out on any more of my awesome videos that I bring to you each week. And of course, your business is always appreciated. It helps bring more of these great videos to you. And I so would love to be your demonstrator, and I have a great VIP rewards program for my customers, so you can check out all those details on my blog. Again, all the information is in the description of this video. Thanks so much for stamping with me today, friends. Have a great day. Bye.